Welcome to Rich Conversations. In this recording, I would like to share with you something I use that helps me navigate American society. And it's so simple, yet so accurate and effective. It's amazing. Let me set my espresso down and bring out my dry erase marker. Now, there are 3 environments in the United States, and each of us fit into one of 3 of these environments, and each of us were raised in one of these environments. So in America, USA environments, we have rural, which I would include small towns as part of, and then we have suburban. And then, lastly, the third one, urban. And through experience and observation, I'm gathering this. This is how I use it, right? I was born on a farm in rural Wisconsin. I lived in rural America for the first 18 years of my life. And then I lived in urban environments in Chicago, and then have traveled all over to different cities. But I've also interacted heavily with people from suburb environments. So there's this mix, and I find that understanding where people come from in terms of environments is a lot more effective than almost anything else. 2 of these are most similar. Can you guess which ones? It's rural and urban. Amazing, right? On the surface, it doesn't seem like they're similar, but they are. The people are very, very similar. And the reason is because these are natural environments. Rural and urban are natural. Now, what do I mean by natural? Human beings are meant to either be in nature or with other people. We're social animals, right? Rural and urban fit these. Suburban environments are actually artificial. We have suburban environments coming to prominence in America after World War II, where we have this capitalistic boom where we're the only economy left standing in the world. And until this point, until the war, our standard of living was quite low or substandard. So you got to imagine in the minds of Americans the amazement that you could afford to have a car, have a house, have a yard, raise a family, have all these appliances and all these new toys and things. It's very attractive. So a lot of people moved out to the suburbs, and it's continued until this point, right? But these environments affect people's minds and how they operate. And what I've noticed with people is that in rural environments, people have low floors, high ceilings. Suburban environments, high floors, low ceilings. And in urban environments, we have low floors, high ceilings. I would also categorize creators and producers from rural and urban environments, and consumers being suburban environments. The ideas that come into society, the greatest ones, are not coming from suburbs. They're coming from people together or in nature. And suburban environments have created opportunities for companies where you have a mass population, right? So you have everybody moving out, but all those houses, all that kind of planning and style can be replicated across the country. So you have these environments which are mainly the same. So you can create a product and sell that product mainly to a big mainstream of people. And so it's very profitable to have suburban environments for companies. I think a lot too of, there was the Pullman train car company. And this was the late 1880s, 1890s, where I think it was George Pullman, but he had this company, and then he created a community of houses, brand new houses for his employees to live in. But the stipulation was that you couldn't damage anything, you couldn't wreck anything, you couldn't really play. You were very constricted. And that's how I notice people in suburban environments kind of living. It's about not kind of rocking the boat at all. It's kind of very organized and cookie cutter of what you do, how you're supposed to live. It's all kind of scripted out. And there tends to be a cap on imagination. And what I've noticed with society is that there seems to be, along with society, our leaders, a lack of imagination. And why is that? It's because a lot of our leaders are coming from suburban environments. So they're not really willing to have a fresh idea, innovative perspective, because they're trying to be in line with what's been done before and how you go about doing things, right? If you looked at leaders in our federal government, they probably 75% of them, I would guess, have come from this. There's a lot of infrastructure, suburban, but our greatest ideas as a society are going to come from rural and urban. All of this is something I notice in conversations with people. There tend to be just little nuances, little differences that you can pick up on. And as an aggregate, it affects society. So this concept of environments in America is something I use very frequently in conversations. It helps me better understand where someone is coming from, how far or how open they're going to be in conversations, how comfortable they are to do certain things. It all comes down to this. And what I find is that suburban often play rural and urban against each other in order that their ideas come through. And I think it's something interesting we should take a look at. They're able to do that because people in the countryside often don't interact with people in the cities and vice versa. But these two environments have so much in common of who they are as a core as people and the importance of community and helping each other out, really serving a collective. These are much more collective, whereas suburban is more individualistic and more status-driven, consumption, consuming things to show, where one is. So I think it's very interesting, and I thought I would share it with you because, to me, it's such a huge factor in American society.